Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the Ministry of Health, the meeting with the coordination unit for the national response to COVID-19. For the international scene, Europe confronted with the virus, Portugal closes its border with Spain. Welcome to our newsroom. The Ministry of Health, Mohamed Warsama Diriye, held a working meeting with the coordination unit for the national response to COVID-19. The participation is of the United Nations System Coordinator, Ms. Barbara Manzi, the Deputy Representative of the World Health Organization, Dr. Eddie Alain, and the representative of UNICEF, Ms. Melba Johnson, was also noteworthy. Composed of representatives of various UN agencies, technical partners, and the medical service of the armed and security forces, the periodic exchanges of this coordination unit aim to assess the new issue and challenges in the context of updating the national response strategy against COVID-19. To this end, discussions have focused on the international context marked by the emergency of the new variant of SARS-CoV-2, on the availability of genomic sequencing means, as well as on the process of acquiring and deploying vaccines against COVID-19. In his speech, the Minister of Health, Mohamed Warsama Diriye, has indicated that his ministry has already raised the level of vigilance at entry point and through the country. New recommendations have been formulated to face new challenges, in particular coming acquisitions of rapid antigenic screening tests. The Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, in collaboration with the Waqf Property Ministry, organized yesterday at the Neighborhood 7 Development Center a religious preaching session attended by several dozens girls and boys. The event was attended by the Director of CDC, Ms. Ruqya Hassan Sheikh, the head of the Department of CDC, Ahmed Ali Ahmed, as well as the leaders of the Neighborhood 7 Community Development Center, and a swarm of young people. After a moment of preaching in front of an attentive audience, questions and answers led by Ms. Shukri Abdullahi Ali on the history of Islam, its propagation, and development as spiritual values of monotheistic religious faith founded by Muhammad, peace be upon him. The final phase of the Basic Education Football Championship, Municipal Stadium, Thursday, 28 January 2021, the Sports and Culture Department of the Ministry of National Education Vocational Training organized last Thursday the final phase of the Basic Education Football Championship of the 2020-2021 sports season. These days saw the participations of the Director of Education, Mr. Abdi Gire, the Technical Advisor, Mr. Omar Musa, the Head of the Sports and Culture Department, Mr. Mustafa Hassan Roble, as well as the Director of the school. The match took place respectively between the team from 8 basic education schools in different districts of Djibouti. The school officials and headmasters presented cup and medals to the winners. Now in Tajura, the delegation visited the different sites that the ADDS project is implementing for the young people of the White City, also in the locality of Tewele, in order to visit the infrastructure within the framework of the Fund Development Community promoted by ADDS. In this village, the aim was to learn about the social impact on the community of supply of water to the village from the Wadi water reserves of almost 3 kilometers. The inhabitant of this locality then expressed the interest in it extending this type of intervention is identified by the community and implemented by the community itself. As part of the fight against the illicit traffic of smuggled goods of all kinds, the police officers of the Ali Sabih detachment under the command of Commander Mahdi Umar Jama have undertaken a large-scale operations to put an end to this kind of illicit activities. It was during the day of Wednesday that police officers of the Al Sabih detachment were deployed in the district in order to dismantle smuggling networks. This operation led to the seizure of 10 boxes of cigarettes worth more than 1 million permitted medicines and cosmetic products. All those involved in this illegal activity will appear before the Court of Justice to answer for their actions. It is with deep regret that we announce the death of brother Iwad Daoud Mohammed today in the capital of Djibouti following a long illness that took him away. The late Iwad Daoud, technical advisor to the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, leaves a large family behind him. His death is announced to his large family living in Djibouti, Tajara, Lakassal, and Weima, which are the sorrow of the family of the late Iwad Daoud. The management of all the staff of RTD addressed their most saddened condolence to the family of the late Iwad Daoud and prayed to God to welcome him in his eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. The Jama'a Musa family is looking for their mother's Miss Mahado Suleiman Musa, who is mentally ill. She left her homes in Pika 12 4 days ago. We ask for the help of all those who seek Miss Mahado Suleiman to call us on the following number 7702 6157 or 7782059. For the international scene, Germany is sealing itself off and forbids travelers from countries where the COVID-19 variant has developed to enter its territory. Until 17 February, airlines, rail, bus and ship companies will not be allowed to bring passengers from the countries concerned, except German citizens and residents on the border between Portugal and Spain, something that had long since disappeared. A border post is being set up. Already confined Portuguese will not be able to leave the country for the next 14 days by any means. Only borders worker, goods and emergency services will be allowed to cross into the Spain. In London, Clark Bendel, a doctor, is worried the UK is the country hardest hit by the pandemic in Europe with more than 100,000 deaths. Cameroon, the host country, and Mali qualified on Saturday for the semi-finals of the African Championship of Nations by respectively eliminating Congo and Democratic Republic of Congo. At the end of the suspense, the Eagles of Mali did not glide over. The first quarterfinals concluded with 0-0 against Congo after 2 hours of play, including extra times. It was therefore necessary to reach the penalty shootout. And the Malians were more skillful, winning the right with Guinea and Rwanda on Wednesday in the semi-finals of CHAN 2020. The second quarters in Douala took place in a very well-filled stadium despite the coach set up at 25% of usual 50,000 seats due to COVID-19. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.